Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I am in the Udes 1516 Tier 10 Swedium on steps, standard battle flying solo. And I know, I just got done with a series of Swedium videos and I didn't give this tank the best review, but for some reason I am drawn to it. I don't know if it's just the difference factor that it has. It brings something new to the game, plays with a different style. But this game just happened last night, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Obviously, chasing the ace. I said once I got the ace, I would share the video with you. Also, the T-44 122 Tier 7 Medium Premium Soviet tank just dropped today. Slap-a-Fish Jr. is going to give a review of that. I watched the video today that he did, and he said it kind of feels like an IS/T-44 hybrid. From what it looks like to me, it's got really trash gun handling, high alpha, mobility like a medium, kind of hybrid in there, but he mentioned that there's not a tank like it, and I haven't really dove deep into the stats to see if I can find a tank that I can compare it to. So I don't really want to make comparisons. I really just want to focus on this game, and it actually plays out pretty strangely. So generally steps, you got your two sides of the map, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, or 8, 9, 0. Heavies usually go to the 1, 2, 3. Mobile tanks usually go 8, 9, 0, and then there's a battle, and whoever wins the right side, I feel like, has the advantage, but doesn't necessarily solidify the victory. And you can see in here, the red team doesn't even send anything over here. So, are we advantaged here? Well, I feel like it because they have given up majority of the map. However, whenever I'm in the north and nobody sends anything to the 7, 8, 9, I like to make a defense in like C3, just kind of keeping my distance and allowing them to drive into the open field rather than being able to use this ridgeline that we're going to use. Because if you are fighting it from C5 where the reds are, you're going to see that it can be surrounded and get put into a crossfire. So that's why I don't like to be that far forward. If I am going to defend the base, I'm going to defend it from the back and make the greens, or in that case the reds, drive over this lip so I can get free shots into them. I feel like that works the best for when defending the base and when your team doesn't make it to the 8-9-0 line. Now obviously if you give up the 8-9-0, you have to win the 1-2-3 because you can't lose both sides of the map. Now they've given up the 8-9-0, but they're putting up a defense. Take the E4 down there. It is 3-3, and in these games, when you own, I'll say 75% of the map or more, I feel like it's just a patient game. As long as you don't throw your tank in the garbage, you slowly take your shots that you're given, you can just overpower the enemy team and slowly whittle them down and take the victory. But I'm kind of concerned, they haven't put a lot of tanks into defense mode, rather they're taking an offensive on the 1-2-3, so I feel like we have to pick up the tempo and really push the objective here to try to get more pressure and maybe flank them as they're pushing down on our team. So I'm getting shots in this T95, their bad shot hits me in the side, and I need to be careful. We still do have 2 artillery, we missed them earlier. I'm going to sneak out here, get the shot in, and back up. Took my time to make sure that I landed that shot. This tank has a long reload, so if you miss the shot, it really takes a lot longer to progress forward, especially when you leave a T95 alive. A tank that has excellent armor and your teammates are not going to be able to deal with easily. Now, as you're looking at the map, it looks like our team's starting to back off the 1-2-3 line, so it feels like they made a successful push. But then our team realizes that they can no longer push the 1-2-3, yet they're going to set up a defense down in the south. So the cool thing about this map is that even though you can give up a lot of ground, there's just enough open territory to where you can set up good defenses. Like when I'm in the south, if nobody sends anything to the 8-9-0, we have a huge 1-2-3 push. I like to get into like K5. There's a high ground there. You let them push over the 9 line where their little ridge is, and you can get some nice shots into them there. Alright, so it's 6-6, 2 arties per team, and I'm just looking for some shots here. Arguably, I probably should move up and help out, but I know that our team isn't really on the offensive, so if I push too far, then they're going to be able to probably just turn around and get free shots into me. And once again, my DPM is not good enough to fight 3 heavy tanks. Even though I do have 2 heavy tanks with me, I don't know what capacity they're going to be able to help me with heavy tanks. When you're talking 60 TP that has some tricky armor to pen, E100 that has some tricky armor to pen, if those guys aren't spamming heat rounds, then I could push into a situation where they're not going to be able to help me because they are not sure how to pen the tanks. They also have a 50B on 496 hit points, which we hit earlier. And these 3 heavies have now turned around. My heavy push very aggressively up the train tracks, which I like that play, just because it opens up crossfire, as long as I can land my shots, which, once again, this gun is not the most reliable, especially at range. We're going to see if we can hit the shot on the bat chat and we miss. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have held it for the E100 or potentially a heavy tank that's coming. And he gets one shot into the arty. Before the arty can shotgun him, I get a shot into him. And the 60 TP takes advantage of that, pulls over, and gets rid of my Conqueror. So now I'm the lone tank on this flank, but we still have 3 tanks in the south. Looks like they're surrounding the tank destroyer down there, so we should be golden over in that situation. I don't want to leave this 60 TP here though. I want to try to take out as many heavy tanks as I can. So it looks like I got a drive wheel shot there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I did not get the penetrating shot. So we load HE. And we aim carefully, we shoot. He does spot us there, so we've got to be careful. They still have 1 artillery. I just want to use this rock to get unspotted. And then peek to see if anyone's following me. I don't see anyone following me, so I'm going to retreat back to the south. And we now have 1 tank destroyer left in H1. Take that back. He is now dead. It is me, 2 artillery against 3 red tanks and 1 artillery. But I feel like I can outspot all of these tanks. Now the 50B is kind of a question mark just because he has good mobility. So if he gets close enough to me, he's going to spot me. And they also have a Death Star and an E100, which can hit me very hard and overmatch my armor. So I'm not too excited about that. Along with the T92 artillery piece, which obviously can wreak havoc on this tank. So I gotta be very careful. 50B also has a clip. So what I want to try to do is just get vision out for my arty. I feel like I have 2 arty. I need to use that to my advantage. I am the highest concealment tier 10 medium tank in the game. And I spot this side and I figured they'd be pushing, but I don't spot them. So now I fear like maybe the 50B is coming down the 890. And because I have the highest concealment, I can actually take more of a middle position of this map, which generally is not a safe thing to do. If you don't have high concealment, you really risk getting spotted out in the middle of this field, which would be very tragic because you could be putting yourself into a gigantic crossfire. not to mention artillery being able to hit you. Alright, so I go with my gut. I feel like the 50B is probably flanking. I feel like I should have spotted the E100 and or the Death Star if they actually push the one line. So I feel like they're kind of holding back in a already safe position, knowing that we have to make a play on them. Since it's 3 to 4, I figured they... And I'm wrong. So their E100 kills our T92. I still have one arty. Hopefully I can get back in time to help him out. And is that going to cost me the game? So I definitely feel like, hindsight 2020, I should have just stayed in my position in K4, stayed in the bush, got him spotted, then my arty could have killed him. My arty does kill the E100, however the E100 got a shot out and killed my last artillery piece. So it's me versus 3. The Death Star is positioned over there. I'm still not sure where the 50B is, and I have to worry about an arty now. So I want to use my concealment, get vision out, and I'm looking for a shot on the Death Star. I figure once he's loaded, he's going to push out. Maybe go to the cap. But now it's a crunch time on time. Plus I don't know where the 50B is, so I kind of have an inkling that they're coordinating together as far as what they want to do. I feel like the 50B is maybe sitting back there. So I'm going to make a pretty aggressive play here, hopefully spot something, get some intel, and then if I don't spot anything, I'm probably just going to go head up to find artillery. If I can take arty out of the game, that'll ease my mind a little bit, knowing that if I get spotted, he's not going to be able to get easy shot in me on an open map. So we're going to sweep the 2 line, and I didn't spot the Death Star, so now I'm really curious. I'm thinking the Death Star went to our cap, just I didn't wait long enough to spot him, or he's still hiding on the K line in the back. So we make a sweep here. I'm guessing he's in the left corner. He could have moved to the other side. No, he's right there. He's not ready for me. We'll get a shot in. Take him out, which is huge. Now I could jump on the cap. I don't know if there's enough time, to be honest, and I don't want them to know where I am. So even though they can see me proceeding in this direction, I'm actually going to cut to the right and I'm hoping one of them is trying to shortcut the field to try to get to me now that they know where I am, and I will outspot them, but that doesn't happen. So that's annoying. So we're going to cross the field. Once again, this is a terrible decision if you don't have concealment. This will never work, or it probably won't work. Not to mention, I don't have Sixth Sense, of course, which you guys can razz me in the comments. Sixth Sense, great time to have Sixth Sense, and you should have it in all your tanks, but long story short, I grew up without it, so I just don't feel it necessary. Alright, so getting down to crunch time here. I know one tank's on the base, and I'm not sure what tank it is, so I want to try to spot it. We spot the Death Star here. We get spotted. We may have been spotted in the bush, but the way he reacted, I don't feel like he knew where I was until I shot. Now I'm getting shot in the back by the 50B, but I have conserved quite a bit of hit points, so I can take it in this situation, and I don't have much of a choice because I already fixed, already used my repair kit. So we're going to back up. We got an HE shell loaded, and the Death Star gets a shell into me before I can get my HE shell out. So he's broken my gun, my turret, my tracks, and my viewport. 30 seconds left in the game. 50B, I imagine, is pushing on me, but he's got to reload, so he's not going to just aggressively push on me. He's got to kind of work his way down the 890. He could also push it to a draw, which at this point I'd be okay with because I'm on a sliver of health, so I'm not going to go attack a 50B with a broken gun and a broken turret. It's just not going to bode well for this tank. Now I expect him to pop over this ridge, but I feel like I'm too far in the open and I could be utilizing this rock. So I back up, he's up there, and I run out of time. I did throw the shell, did not hit, and we lose. So really, they won the tiebreaker. Our team caused the least amount of damage. So I had to go back and do the math on this. First, I sent him a message, GG, that was fun. He sent me one back, said, nice game. It sucks to lose those ones, but whatever. So I added all their points up. They did 26,914 hit points and damage. And I was curious because I couldn't just like count heavy tanks and be like, okay, that's why they won. It was really close, and not that I had time in game to do it, but generally when it comes down to 1v1, if you have to decide what you're going to do, count the high tier heavy tanks on each team, and generally the one with the most is going to have the most hit points. So if you're a 1v1, then if they had the most hit points, chances are you're going to win. Let them push into you, if that makes sense. Add up my team's hit points that we got off their team, 26,714. So I was 200 hit points short. Had I just held up and took that shot at the end, broken gun, yeah, it doesn't even, like, I get my shell out, but it doesn't really register there. So a nice game in the Udes, 5,379. It was a base 1,000 in a loss. 6 kills, the 50B. If I would have got to kill him, would have been 7 for that medal, whatever it is. Can't remember what it's called. But him and the Death Star had a really nice game, so it's okay to lose to tanks that have good games. If they sat back and did nothing the whole game, it's kind of irritating to lose the game to those players. But not too bad in this situation. It was a really fun game. And yeah, I'm going to keep chasing that ace. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. And hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And I will catch you in the next video.